I'm going to start again. Okay, so this is the second-hand shop, huge second-hand shop of this one here. See. Oh, sorry. Now I'm going to have to talk very loud. It is 4:30 in the morning. The sun is not up, and this particular shop has held my attention for the last, since June of not last year, but the year before, when I became a lot more conscious of something, shall we say. I won't go into details because it's more personal, and I try to keep these videos less personal, which is why I downloaded a couple of videos a week ago and put it out, and the copyright got me because you're not supposed to download whole music videos. You have to talk a lot and just make things about the videos. You can't show a whole video because that's copyright, but because I get obsessed with particular music videos sometimes, only in recent times I might add, because I've given a lot of the music away over the last number of years for the obvious reasons. By that I mean the popular music videos of the rock and pop stations. It's 4:30 in the morning, so there should be very little traffic. It should be quiet, but I wonder whether they won't come and try to drown me out. Anyway, I haven't got much space on the mobile, so I better get to the point. Now, this shop, I have to talk loud and hold my voice right next to the mobile, so it comes out. I have to talk loud, and I am experiencing some physical difficulties, I might add, getting down here. Now, this shop has held my attention. The window of this shop, the displays they put in the window, has held my attention since I became conscious of something in June, not last year, but the year before. So last year was 2/21, wasn't it? So it was 2/20. So it'll be 2 years exactly in June this year, but it's not quite that yet. So but I'm saying that was when they opened up this shop. And from the minute they opened it up, they started putting displays in the window where I immediately knew they were playing with my mind. Or if you want to say synchronicity, some people use that fancy term, okay? It simply means that when you look at the display in the window, the same as when I do the book thing, the book. Now, this is interesting because that means that it relates personally to you in some way, or it has some message for you that you only will pick up on. Maybe someone else will pick up on it too, but it might be a different message for them. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I only know that I became very conscious of that from that time, and it has not stopped for all that time. All last year, particularly with the dummies and the displays that they put in the window, I would immediately say that dummy represents a particular person or myself or some situation, that I would just immediately. Now, today, I wasn't even going to do this video but it's confounded me today. In other words, I'm confused. I don't know what to make of it. But either way, before I go any further, talking about books, someone has dumped these books here outside the shop. They're probably as a donation, but as you can see, they just throw them there, so it's not very good. But I'm just going to see if there's any synchronicity here, because normally I do it in the bookshop or in those little library things. Let me see. This one says, Mary and Elizabeth. What does that mean? Does that mean anything? Oh, okay. Oh, have to kick it because I don't like to touch the things. That's the swap. The swap. Well, actually, that does have a personal meaning to me because I want to swap my house if I can. But not going to be very likely. I would say that I will be met with extreme opposition because they like me being stuck there. This one is called The Marriage Book. Well, of course, they know that I have slight fixation on that. Not always. And I never have. I've never been married. And I'm 65 years old, so it's probably a bit late for it. But they're going to start up with some of the trucks, I think. There's the army garbage truck. 2 army garbage trucks. Where are they going? There's no garbage to pick up, and they're just strolling along. Forget that, they're trying to sidetrack me. Oh dear, I'm stressed already, as usual. Look, just as well I had the coffee. That's almost like... But either way, this may be synchronicity. This particular video may make sense to someone else more than even me. Okay, so I've got the marriage thing because, I like looking at the bride shops, and there's more bride shops in Leichhardt than in the whole of Sydney, I would imagine, if you really think about it. That's only because, sometimes I see, desperate times call for desperate measures, but either way, I'm a little bit old for all of that, but wishful. But anyway, that one says, does that make sense to anyone? That one says the godmother. I hope this is coming out because it's a bit dark here. This one here. Oh, jeez. Oh, dear. Oh, so sorry to... It's just that movement is a little bit painful for me. Social work and human development. Social work and human development. Oh, I don't know what that means. Oh, what does this one say? Oh. Kisses Katie? Kisses Katie. They try to be funny, like I don't want to touch these books because they're over here, but they've probably got some synchronicity going for me. Oh, I'll have to use my foot to get it. What does it say? Oh, that one actually says, I can read it upside down even, it says truly, madly, guilty. But, there's that movie called Truly, Madly, Deeply, isn't there? I've heard of that movie, I don't think I've seen it. And I think it might be a song too, I'm not sure, but truly, madly, deeply is the normal saying. But that one says truly, because it means truly, madly, deeply love, whereas this one says truly, madly, deeply guilty. What does that mean? God, sorry about that, I'm getting angry. I don't know why I got angry there, I shouldn't. That one says shadow wind. Shadow of the wind or something. Oh, look, I think I have to do the other. Hold on. I can't read. Oh, I can't do it. This one there says to... The only reason that's funny because it says there on that book, I think you can read it, but they've got teddy bears all in the window here. I'm going to bypass this window because this is all for Easter, so it's all bunnies, because it's all Easter eggs and bunnies, because Easter is not very long away in Sydney. It might be this or next week. I lose track of the time. I don't even know what the date is today. I know it's April because I know the first was like a bit of a landmark for me because I was aware of the first, so it's probably... Look, I'm going to explain this window to you, what they've been doing over the last week, okay? Over the last week. or actually probably 2 weeks, because I haven't been here obviously every day or every night, but normally if I get the coffee I have to walk past this salvo shop. Now look, it's probably too dark, there's no light here, but that's a racing car there, that's a little racing toy car. See how it's got number 1 on it, and it's a racing car. The other day I pointed it out because I was surprised, because it looked funny that they'd plonked this great big baby doll on the top of it, as though the baby doll was driving the car. This is the baby doll over here. This baby doll has been put here for me. I don't think it's going to come out over the last couple of weeks, okay? You can buy those, but they use them in the display. That's a baby doll, a great big old baby doll. See? It's not going to come out, I don't think. There's not enough light. Oh, I don't know if I can explain this synchronicity. This doll here, this great big older looking, almost like a motherly doll, it's not going to come out. It's too dark. I can see looking through the thing. I need some light. Maybe the car's coming along and give me some light. Oh, what a pity. I should do this in the daytime, but see if I'm here at night. Oh, I can see it clear myself, but that is like a mother, it's a big doll, a big, huge old doll. It looks like mother, and the baby, the great big baby, that one that was there, was sitting in this window here about 2 or 3 weeks ago. They usually keep it here for about a week and then they change the display. They like to muck with me in this window. I've told you they've been doing it for the last 1 year and let me see, that'd be 1 year and 9 months, wouldn't it? I think nearly 10. Yeah, anyway, a year and 9 months and whatever, like I say, from June. But anyway, I know this is boring for anyone, but it makes sense to me. Now, the mother doll was in the window here 2 weeks ago. I should have filmed it, but I didn't have the mobile. I didn't feel up for anything, okay? I'm pushing myself at the moment. Now, the mother doll was here in the window, this great big old mother doll that's even in an more old-fashioned dress, with the great big baby doll. It's huge, it's quite big. I showed it there, but it's not going to come out. It's too dark. Can you see it over there? Maybe with a bit of light. See? Can you see it? Is it coming out? There. Can you see it? There. It's in the thing. They've put it to the side this time. They've moved it to the side. I think it's coming out now a bit, hopefully. See how big it is? Huge. Now, what I'm going to try to show this, I know it's not going to make sense to anyone, and it doesn't make sense to me, but there must be some sense to it. I don't want to get upset because this window has been playing with me for quite a while, and it always usually makes sense. Now, what I was going to say was the mother big doll, this doll here, this big one here, is it coming out? No, there's not enough light. There it is there. See where it is? Oh, what a pity. It's not going to come out. There's not enough light. I can see it, but it's the same one that was here. There was this big mother doll with the big baby sitting next to it, and they had this glass. Now, why would they do this? This won't make sense to anyone probably, but these people that put these displays, those that work in there, they put this glass in front of just a glass, like a drinking glass, in front, a great big drinking glass in front of this baby and this mother doll. And they had put the mother doll, they'd thrown the mother doll over as though she was drinking out of the glass. And it looked odd, it looked untidy, it didn't look right. You know what I mean? Because it was meant to make sense only for me. And then, when I went past the next day, it was as though the mother doll was drinking out of the glass and the baby was sitting next to it. But then the next day when I went past, they had deliberately made the display untidy. they'd thrown the doll over. Now, why would they do that? Because if they're trying to sell these items, they wouldn't do it. But they threw the mother doll over to where she had fallen over the glass. As though someone had deliberately knocked it over. And now, today, they've finally put another display here, because I didn't come past yesterday, but now but also, they had put the mother and the baby in this box after that, as if to say they were in the box. They were on their own, the mother and the baby, in this box. See, can you see this box? It's not going to come out. It's a great big box. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying here, but look. Now today, they've got the display. They've put all these new dolls. They're all old dolls. I'm quite interested in that one there, actually. That might be highly collectible, if I say that doll. They know I'm interested in dolls. But I tend to only be a very poor doll collector. Like I don't like to spend like hundreds of dollars on dolls, so I tend to go for only newer things, and I've stopped collecting now anyway, but I did used to enjoy collecting dolls, but in fact I got rid of about 3/4 of them, sold them, but anyway, when my son was living with me, because, but it doesn't matter. But either way, let me see. Now today, it's a pity there's not enough light in. See, there's the mother doll there. Even that would be quite collectible, I think, because these are very old dolls. Old dolls, Now, they've moved it today. Now, let me see. Let me concentrate. They have moved the big baby doll away from the mother doll there. The mother doll is there. Can you see it? It's not going to come out. It's too dark. There's a teddy bear behind the mother doll, a great big teddy. That's not going to come out either. But this is not going to come out. So they put all these dolls inside this basket where they had the mother doll and the baby doll. It was as though they were trapped in the box. That's how I saw it when I saw it about a week or two ago, after they had moved it out the window when they were drinking out this glass, which was a ridiculous display. Like, it was a ridiculous display. I'm getting very hot and very excited here, and very stressed for some reason. Now, okay, so today they have moved. It's a good display. They've got all these new older dolls again. Now, this is not going to come out, but look, they've got this new one here, which I'm quite interested. I wonder how much they want for it. It's very old. I'd say it's an authentic, old, quite collectible doll. Now, they've put all these dolls in the box. But this one's standing up here. See, that's an older one. See how they look younger, those dolls there? Those two that are there look like two children, really, to be honest. They look like, that looks like an older adult doll. And, a female, and those are two younger dolls. And over there we have two, is it coming out? Can you see it? Two black dolls. And those two black dolls are children. And they look very similar. And they're both in very fancy female dresses. Even though they actually look more male than female, strangely enough, I'd say, looking at the faces and the heads. But there's two, and they look very similar, those two, almost as though they're related. That is strange. And there's a teddy underneath it. There's other things here which I don't understand what they mean. In fact, there's a purse next to the mother doll too, but that's not going to come out either. An old purse next to that mother doll there. Is this making any sense? I'm trying to make sense of this display, because normally this synchronicity, all these displays, make some sense to me. I normally get something out of it. Particularly if they've got dolls or mannequins and things. Today the mannequins mean nothing over in the window, because they just, but that's what, they want me to be taken in by the dolls today. Now, what does it mean? So, what does it mean? And there's a teddy in there with the doll, a great big old teddy in pyjamas, with the two. See, those two are two black children dolls, and those are two white children dolls with the blonde hair, and they've got the black and the black. Oh, okay, I'm just pointing it out. They're all old dolls, I'd say, but I'm not sure about, because I'm not an expert on, even though I do have some interest in dolls, I'm not an expert. There's a world globe there with a teddy next to it, an whole world globe. That'd be collectible too, I would imagine. Now here we have the same baby, big baby doll. They've pushed him to the side. He's out of the box. He's actually out of the box. See, he was in the box 2 weeks ago. These are all in the box. That older doll that looks like a more big. See how big she is, and they're small because they're the children. They're like little children dolls, and there's 2 black children dolls there. And there's a teddy, and there's another teddy there in pyjamas. Now there's the doll, the big doll, that used to be with the mother doll when they were over that glass, and then they threw it over as though she'd fell over. It was quite distinct. You'd have to see. Now, what is this baby doing here? The baby is reading a book there. You can't see it, it won't come out, but it looks like a Bible. Babies don't read Bibles, but that's what they've got. That's how they put the display. They've opened the book. See, normally they just plonk the books here closed. But they've opened that book. I can see it's opened, half open, with the pages open as though that baby is reading the Bible or the book. Up there above the baby, they've got like 2 drinking flasks. You know those ones where you squirt the extra water in if you're mixing a drink or something? I'm no expert on mixing drinks, I have to admit. They've got 2 bottles. They've got a cabinet there too, but that's not making any sense to me. They've got the world globe there with a teddy next to it. They've got an awful lot of teddies and dolls in the window today. They've got all old dresses here with old patterns for clothes. Very old. This is all like really old stuff. Antique, you could say. It says animal knitwear there with a little girl, but that's like, it looks as though it's out of the 50s or the 60s or something there. I would say all that stuff, and these dolls. Oh, I'm shouting here and I've got out of breath. And they used to have a picture of the England up there. They've took it away. They had, like London. They actually had London written on it. They actually had London written up there on a thing. They've had a lot of London stuff in this synchronistic reading, whatever you will, window since they opened over the last year and 9 months, to be almost exact. Must be about 5 in the morning now, I'm guessing. Now also, I'm just trying to make sense of this window. It makes no sense to me at all. But it's fascinating to me with all the dolls and the teddies, okay? Those dolls are collectible too, so I'm interested. That's why they put them there, to get me to get something to take notice of it, you know? Okay. Now, there we have that old doll, the mother-like doll, because that's how I saw it. And it looks like a mother. See how she's got her headscarf around her head, like they used to back in, say, many years ago, a long time ago, like, say, say the 60s, 50s or the 60s. I'd say probably the 50s. But that doll even looks even older than that because it's got like a really long dress. Whatever. Oh. Notice how this truck is deliberately not moving, even though all the traffic is going. It was waiting for me to watch it. That is a patrol vehicle, that big thing, that big tanker thing. Their antics like to a normal person. If I pointed that out, see, it's clear now, but if I pointed that out, people would say you are not right to say that, but it was too slow to move off the mark. Like it waited for me as stalled, in other words, before it moved, because they don't stall on Parramatta Road. Here we've got another one. Oh. I think that said chem something or other on the side of it. I don't know what that means. But either way, I must finish this up. Okay. Oh, sorry, the traffic's distracting me now. I've been pretty good. I've had total focus on this for the first time, even along on Parramatta Road. But like I say, it shouldn't be too bad because it's not light yet. As you can see, it's dark, so it's still dark. The sun's not even remotely up yet, actually. Not even remotely, even though it's. But they've also thrown a Mickey Mouse, see, a great big Mickey Mouse. Oh, what a pity there's no light here. I can't show it to where people can get anything out of it. And all those patterns, see, next to the Mickey Mouse, they've got all these old knitting patterns, or not knitting, but like making children's dresses, children's clothes, that's what it is. It's all children's clothes on all these old patterns, you know, like where a dressmaker would make children's clothes. That's what it is. That's funny. I don't know say. And the Mickey Mouse, a great big Mickey Mouse, has been sort of thrown over onto his side. Can you see it? It's not going to come out. What a pity there's no light. In amongst all these teddies and the doll, and there's a purse next to an old purse next to the doll. There's buttons. There's jars, like as though they're full of buttons. Like there's all these jars as though they're full of like buttons there next to it too. I don't know what that means. And then there's another teddy, and then there's the two black children dolls that almost look like twins, and they're dressed both in the same clothes, or very similar clothes anyway. I'm a twin too. I used to be dressed in the same clothes as my twin sister when I was a child. I won't go into that. I never liked it. It used to make me really angry that I had to wear the same clothes as my sister, that we had identical clothes. I was so glad when I got to I don't know, I think they stopped doing it when I was about 10. Yeah, something like that, you know, so it was a relief, because I didn't like it, even though, you know, that was normal to dress twins the same, you know, but it used to bother me greatly, even as a child. I didn't like being a twin, I have to say that. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but I didn't like it. I shouldn't say this in the either way, I better fold up. This I don't think I should put this out, because I think this is the most muddled up reading of Orinda or Synchronicity that I've ever done, because I don't know what to make of it. And also it just seems, it's not like reading the books down there where I could instantly see their, you know, even with those few that were thrown there. Actually it's starting to come a bit more, there's a bit more light there now on that. It's a pity that wasn't the case earlier. See, they're all in the box. For some reason they've put them back in this box, but originally that mother one with that baby, there, see the big baby that's reading the book, reading the Bible actually. It looks like a Bible. I'm not 100% sure because it's dark, but it looks like a very old Bible. It's really old and almost a bit dirty looking. Yeah, that's strange. And the ball with the, you know, I see, because it has to be something that I pick up, and that actually says lightning there too. Lightning. I don't know what that means. It says, you know, it's part of the knitting, part of the clothes, the children's clothes dressmaking. They're all children's dressmaking clothes, strangely enough. No adult ones there. That's interesting. That's an old dress too that they've got there. So that's quite old looking. And it looks a bit childlike too. That's actually, it looks more like a really old children's kind of smock or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. I could be getting, because I'm no expert on clothes or whatever, but I better fold up. There's more of those jars. I've got an awful lot of those jars there. Can you see that? That's not going to jars, they're full of buttons. They're all full of buttons. Could be like full of coins or buttons. I'm just trying to make something here, but I better fold up. Oh, I've got to get back home. You know, it took my mind off my aching feet actually, but strangely enough, it was stressful making a video. But that doll, it's a pity I'll be too tired to come up here in the daytime, but that doll is highly collectible. I would say that's a genuine old doll. All these dolls are actually old, I'd say. The big baby one is very big, but I'd say it's like more of a replica, so it's probably newer, but I'm not 100% sure. But these ones I'd say are definitely old. It's even got a tag on it. I wonder how much they want. I can't read how much they want for it. Can't read how much they want for it. All the teddies. There's a great big old carry case, like a travelling thing there too, which I was interested in. That's been there for a few weeks now. It would be collectible, but the market would be so small that you know. But I could imagine that I would use that to travel myself if I was like around, or was an adult and around, like say in the 60s or something, or the 50s, maybe even the 40s perhaps. That's not my old movies. I would like a case like that, even though it's old and grotty, because it is actually an authentic old one. So, have I made any synchronicity here, or any sense at all? I don't think so. No, probably not. I better fold up. I don't think I should put this out because I think it's been stressful. That's the first time it's been stressful for me, looking at the synchronicity that I have looked at, what they call synchronicity reading. Travel-wise, they never used to travel that fast along Parramatta Road. The traffic is a totally different thing to what it used to be everywhere. Like, it would look normal and reasonable if you didn't understand what this area was like before 5 years ago, when all of a sudden it just changed. You know, the traffic in particular. Like, I don't see these cars as just normal random cars at all, no. I've got so used to it that fear has sort of like, it's there, but it's not like as fearful as what it should be. But, you know, but because I have to deal with it every day, I have to pretend and try to push the fear down because, you know, but it is intimidating and it is stressful day in and day out, you know. See how the minute my eye went there, that truck goes round the corner. I just missed it, but my eye went to it. I'm just going to try to show, just for a second, how this works, how this matrix works from a human standpoint, because it is designed to only be around me in Leichhardt. There could be others too that it goes around, but I don't think so, not in Leichhardt. But see how it's a massive red when you look, but that won't come out on the mobile. But when I look, it's like it's a mass of red with the backs even of the cars. And red is a matrix colour. Everywhere I look, even in the other direction, but I can't show that. Here we have another garbage truck. You know, like there isn't enough rubbish in one little area for all these garbage trucks, if you were even remotely realistic. And they travel around all night, all day and all night. You know, but to pick up so-called rubbish, like the few bins that are around on the street, and the houses. But they only come to the houses, I know from my own place, once a week. So there is no reason for all these garbage trucks. They are not garbage trucks. They are trucks, vehicles of the Matrix. That is a fact. I knew that from the beginning when the Matrix came down, because the garbage trucks were the first things that drew my attention, because they were following me round. If it was 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd have a garbage truck pulling in front of me, doing ridiculous manoeuvres too, I might add, intimidating in other words. But if you pointed out to someone else, they'd say, well, a garbage truck, you know, because most people don't question traffic. If they see a car pull in, they don't say, oh, that car's pulling in to patrol a person. No, because they'd say that couldn't be possible. But it is possible. It is the reality. Oh, dear. I am exhausted here just talking. And the noise these vehicles make when they go past you, how they make aggressive noises. I can hear them in my ears, even though I've got stuff stuck in my ears, but the mobile won't pick it all up. But it vibrates in my ears, and it's aggressive. It's not pleasant. And it's most vehicles, and it's continual. It's all the time. It's not like just like you'd get back in the old days where you might get, a bikie on a motorbike once in a blue moon. When I say once in a blue moon, I mean like once every couple of months or something. Now it's a continual thing. You know, I'm making the video so they can tone it down. I'm seeing 2 trucks about to come, and what do you know? What do you think is just... The minute my eyesight went to that corner, look what's coming around. A garbage truck. Look at it. As soon as my eyes went to that corner... See, this is what I'm trying to say. The Matrix is designed to trap me, to play with me. Not to play with anyone else on the street. Only to play with particular people. Real people. Or people that aren't of this artificial technical matrix. And I've got to try to concentrate. So look at it flashing its lights at me there. Is it coming out? When my eyes went to it, and it's going around the corner. From this corner here, one corner, just round to the next corner. That makes no logical sense even. Flashing its lights. That is just a patrol vehicle showing you that it is around me, that it's basically trapped me. It's come round from one corner and went round another corner. But what I'm trying to say is the minute my eyes went to that corner, it's your eyes. You see, it's a mind thing for your eyes. But if I point that out to another person, they won't see that because they won't realise that that was just where my eyes went. This is what is happening right now. I've got to try to show this with the mobile, but it's impossible to show it with the mobile because my eyes look, and then I move the mobile, but that is going to be at least a few seconds after that garbage truck has doubled back round again. It's on the other side of the road. It's the same one. See the same thing written on the side with the kangaroo on the side? Same garbage truck doubled back round. So am I proving a point here or not? Does it make any sense? The same garbage truck that come up one corner where my eyes went down a corner, made no sense, and then doubled back onto the other side of the road where my eyes went. Designed to trap me. Now the buses are starting to come on, of course. Well, of course, they can get away with it, you see, now too. The bus brigade can come now because it's just early enough for that. Although, you know, even those night ride buses will always pull in when I come if it's a certain time. But if they don't do that, they can always have all these trucks. There is far too many trucks on this road, and also they go down the side streets now where they never went to. That's something that I can't prove, but I've lived here for 30 years, so I know that you never saw a truck down Norton Street. Now they have the biggest ones coming down there. But of course they've got the whole of this matrix all over Leichhardt. The minute the sun comes up, you'll have the so-called matrix workmen. They're not workmen. They wear the same outfit, that's right. They are. There's the garbage truck again, another garbage truck. Can you see? Another garbage truck flashing its light at me too as it goes. Actually, the sun is starting to get a bit light there. There will be the sun up. See? But where was I? Oh, I've lost it here again. I've lost it here again. I'll stand back here. Look, I shall try to show this if I can get energy. I've tried to do it before, where to show that it is where the human being's eyes go to. It's a controlling, trying to control your senses so that they control your mind, you see, because as a human being, I operate through my senses, sight and sound. And then that controls my mind, because if I have aggressive noises or it's unpleasant to walk around the street, to go places, to get to where you need to go, if there is too much sound or if there is too much flashing lights in your eyes, that affects your mind. So that brings your mood down. So that affects the frequency and vibration. See how, I don't know if that sound's coming out, that all these cars even make aggressive noises. Not every one of them, but you usually find out of when you've got the traffic going that it'll be at least one or two. And also that will depend on, because they're reading your mind and gauging your emotions and feelings from moment to moment. So if they think you're feeling a bit better, they'll bring in the, oh, look, hello, little doggy. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to frighten you. It's a funny dog. Early morning doggy. I like to film the dogs if I can. I think it's a bit of a pleasant diversion from the Matrix. It's not this traffic will be. I'll be going home. I'll be heading straight home from here now. This traffic will start to get really loud and really thick as soon as the sun comes up. It's already coming on as soon as you can see. Look. But all these vehicles, none of these vehicles should be here. This road should be almost empty if anyone knew what the reality was. That's what makes it disturbing. These are not vehicles. This is an army. An army against an army against those that are not of the technical variety, really. That's really all it is. That's what it is. So you look at like a red, it won't come out in the mobile, but to me it looks like those red lights should not all be on the back of those cars like that. But that is just letting me know that I'm in the Matrix, and the Matrix God and all its disciples, which all those vehicles have got that red thing going. Now they're giving me a break, but they won't do it for long. They'll want to show up for that car's flashing its lights at me as it went past too. But you'd say, well, look, maybe it's flashing for a reason. See how it's flashing its lights? But you'd say, so they do that, everything, because that's where my eyes went. My eyes went to that one car. Even though this road, it's actually vacant there for a second, this road is full of cars, as you can see. But my eye will only go onto each individual car. And it's where my eye goes to that the Matrix will flash the light or make the noise, or see how it's flashing, see how the truck's flashing all the lights at me. Why are all these trucks got all these flashing lights now? They never used to have all these flashing. Look at them all. They all have these lights all over them. They never had that. Some people would say, well, that's because they do that for safety. Yeah, but they never did in the past. No, they don't. It's all time. It's all time to keep us down at this particular time, because they know that we were meant to be elevating ourselves a bit at this time, like the fact that I know what's going on more now. Oh, little pigeon just sidetracked me. That's a pleasant diversion, but it's still a diversion, see? That's interesting too, that even the birds can be used, I think, because, see, my eye is on a pigeon. It won't even remotely come out. It's on the top of the roof. It's a tiny speck, but because I notice pigeons, oh, it's flying in front of me. Did you see that? See how it flew in front of me the minute I said that? Did you see that? That the minute I said that, and then when my eyes went back to it, it flew in front of me. right in front of them. And, are all these... with all these trucks, one after the other, as you can see. And they're always banging and making a noise, you know what I mean? Like, even the buses. The buses never used to make the noise that they make. I used to like this road, another garbage truck over there, an orange garbage truck, another truck. But they never used to, the vehicles, even on this road, never used to make all this noise. But if I point that out to a normal person, even to a normal, real person, they would say, look, that's a road, and the traffic would make that noise. No, it never used to, because I've been up on this road for 30 years, and it used to be always a fair bit of traffic. But it never bothered me. So why would it bother me now? Why does it now drive me up the wall, and day in and day out? Also, of a night time, it used to be pleasant up here on Parramatta Road, because you wouldn't get much traffic at all. You get the odd vehicle. And talking about trucks, the trucks only went of a night time, and they would only be they wouldn't be like thick and fast like they are now, making a great big noise and stuff. In fact, it's actually pleasant. I actually have photos that have disappeared, by the way. Can't get them. That I took photos when I had that little old camera that was given to me, and I took photos for about 6 months before it broke down. Just even up on Parramatta Road, I took pictures of Parramatta Road. That's why they've disappeared, because that road was different then. That was like 7 years ago. Before the Matrix came down on me and opened up, shall we say, to where it became aggressive, loud, and a matrix, to where you realise you had a control system around you. I took photos of this road, and was, unlike now where it's disturbing, it will be worse in a little bit, but what I'm trying to say is, this road, I didn't find it that way. I took all those photos, I found it pleasant. I took photos of this road. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was almost photogenic. And I wasn't frightened of the traffic. I didn't see these vehicles as... I wasn't intimidated by the traffic, because I didn't think they were patrolling or watching me. They probably were even then, but they were not exposing themselves then. So it was normal traffic. It was not particularly noisy. Even when there was a lot of it wouldn't be to where you had to stuff stuff in your ears like I do now. I never go out any day without having my ears blocked off. I can't take in the reality. I wouldn't even dare to stroll through even the park at the bottom of my street, without it. It's ridiculous. If I'm walking along to the buses, notice how they always let the air out. Did that come out in the motors where they let... where they let that noise out when they pull up? They never used to do that. They do it every time, wherever I am, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, like they will make some noise, The buses and the vehicles never made the noise that they now make. This would be more like it is like now. See how that car flashed? Oh, I missed it, but when my eyes went to it, that car flashed its lights at me. See, I'm too slow, because that's what I've got to say, is that what I've got to try to show is that where my eyes go, once again, I missed it, but my eyes went to that vehicle. No, it is still flashing its lights, isn't it? Isn't it still flashing its lights at me? It is. I think I got that one. I'm folding up now. That's satisfaction for me. I proved that one car flashes its lights. Most people would say, ha ha ha, the joke's on you. That doesn't prove anything. You are being silly. Well, look, I've got to get home. I'm having difficulty now getting around at the present time. I've got to try to force myself. That car flashed its lights at me too. No reason for that bus is flashing its lights, but that makes sense because, of course, logically that's how it's pulling in, so it's allowed to flash. You just keep flashing it though. Why does it have to keep flashing it when it's clearly pulled in? Like if you can't see a great big bus, see, this is what I'm saying, that looks normal, but in the old days they didn't do that. Before the Major they didn't do that because there's no need to keep flashing the lights because you can't miss a great big bus, and it's a bus lane here anyway. They've even changed the streets to where they have a whole big bus lane. I'm folding up. I've had it.